Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited, as you can see from the title. Old, an M. Night film at the cinema. A rare sight, and I'm very excited for this film. I'm gonna start off by saying it is by M. Night Shyamalan, and I just looked it up. I had no idea Alex Wolff was in it, because I have not seen the trailer for this one. I'm gonna just completely go out there and say I have not seen the trailer for this one. I wanted to stay away from it. I wanted to go into it completely blind, and I know it's about death and growing old. I know it's got something to do with the beach as well, but don't worry, we'll get all into it. I just wanted to be transparent. I was really looking forward to this film, and I really just wanted to go in completely blind. And the fun thing about that is because this is a Universal Pictures film, I'm going to be able to do a reaction to the trailer after seeing the film, so I'll be able to let you know how much it gives away and how much it doesn't. If you have seen the trailer and you're a little bit worried about that, I can definitely answer those questions for you. I know this one is based on a graphic novel, which is also very exciting. And the only other thing I do know is that M. Night said that his inspiration for making this film was because he read the graphic novel and it helped him deal with a lot of his anxieties about growing old and death. I've also seen, when I was just kind of scrolling through who was in it really quickly, I saw that there's, different people playing different ages, so I assume it kind of jumps back and forth. So, I don't know. Is this a Benjamin Button? I have no idea. I really don't know too much about the movie, but I'm so excited to see it. Yes, before you ask, it is winter in Australia, so that's why I look like a teddy bear right now. I'm so excited, so let's just jump straight into it. I'm gonna let you know what I think, spoiler-free, as always, and I'm gonna then do a reaction at the very end to let you guys know whether the trailer gives away too much. You guys know I'm pretty good at not giving anything away, and I hate spoiling films for you all. My objective of these kinds of videos is to let you know whether the film is worth the trip to the cinema, especially in these times, whether it is worth your time and your money, or if you should just wait for it to come out on streaming. So let's get to the bottom of those questions and let's go see Old. Okay. Hi friends, I just finished watching Old. I'm almost speechless. Remember, going into this, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. If I had to describe this movie in one word, it would be wild. And I don't think it's in the good way. Old is, and I think that this is probably what's shown on the trailer. Now I can read the IMDb blurb, which I was staying away from. The blurb says it's a thriller about a family on a tropical holiday who discover a secluded beach where relaxing for just a few hours somehow causes them to age rapidly. I'm not going to finish the end of that. I think that that's all, not too much, because I mean, if you want, I've got to talk about the film in its core concept. But I feel like you don't need to know any more of that because it's them really discovering and like going into detail about that during most of the film. So I feel like if you were to know a lot more than that, not that it would be spoiled, but like it just like half the journey wouldn't be worth it. This film was not very theatrical, I'll just say that. I was very surprised by how odd it was. It was just a very odd film, and maybe it's COVID times, maybe that's what did it to it. I have no idea with the production how that went in terms of that, but I did go see it with my friend Scott, who said that M.Night was still kind of paused on how to end the film just a couple of months before its release, and that's kind of not surprising when you watch the film. It does feature many different actors in a short period of time, so it is really awkward, but the whole thing is awkward. So if you have a taste or a you know, as you like that satisfyingly awkward type of film, you probably will like this film. It felt very much like color out of space in some moments. Felt very like Nicolas Cage should have been somewhere on that beach. It was just very odd, and it had just an odd feeling to it. But I have to say, in that, something about it was alluring because it was just so strange and I really wanted to know what was happening. Although the film is very simple, so don't expect some huge, as I said, it's not theatrical, it's not this huge grand production. It doesn't even lead in with like a... They could have just made you like sink into this film a lot more and made you comfortable. It's almost like awkward intentionally, but it's still, there's just something about it that really is almost satisfying. It almost feels like a Goosebumps story. Like it was such a simple tale of like, I don't want to say good and evil, but like it's just a simple, straightforward story. Although, you know, probably won't seem that way, I promise it is. For something that was so simple, it really did kind of have me glued because I was just so weirded out by the whole experience. And in saying that, I like that. I liked going to the movies. It's definitely a film I will not forget. If I had to describe it with an additional word, obviously the first one is wild. The second one is unforgettable. Like I will not be forgetting that film. Something really interesting about this film is when I was looking at it again on IMDb, it had drama, mystery, thriller, so not horror, but I mean, M. Night is always like on the cusp of horror, I feel like. I feel like he likes more of the thriller aspect, and he tends to kind of aim his films more in the thriller. But what was really interesting about this film is the gore, and that's something I can definitely talk about without giving anything away. It was very interesting in this film what they chose to present to the audience in terms of gore and gore reveals. There were things that were quite gory and very intense. I have to say, like, I was shocked throughout this film. I was like on the edge of my seat a little bit because it was just so wild and strange. And some of the scenes are really, really like icky. And then there's other ones where you should have a reveal or there should be something shown and it's not. You have to think maybe they did this for, you know, ratings purposes, but I mean, I don't know. Obviously they get feedback from that and things get chopped and changed, so maybe that is the reason, but it was just really interesting to have these characters react to some really brutal situations and then you don't get to see the brutal situation, but then there's other things that are quite brutal in it. So I do feel like a lot of it was probably chopped out as well, but there is one cool, like, gory scene, which I definitely think pushes it into horror for sure. This film is just wild, absolutely wild. Performances by Alex Wolff is just... like, if he wasn't awkward before, which I love Alex Wolff. We got Abby Lee, who is an Australian actress model, who was in Neon Demon. She's in this and she's fantastic. She was my favorite. And Eliza Scandlin, I hope I'm saying her name right. She was in, it was a Baby Teeth? She was in that film, the Australian dark comedy film. She was also in Sharp Objects. She's in this. She's great in it. So it was very interesting, like the people who popped up and the different kinds of characters. It really is a melting pot for sure, of different characters put in the situation, which is super interesting because it's interesting to see how they interact. And that's what's really fun about this film. M. Night, obviously, he gets a cameo as always, and his cameo, like, he is not like in the shadows anymore in his films. He's definitely, you know, it's like up front. He comes in quite early. So that's something fun to look forward to. And I will say, like, I guess the ending for me it was pretty straightforward. It was pretty satisfying, but I wouldn't say it has that huge M. Night twist that I was hoping for. It was kind of like, okay, that makes sense. And I don't know if that's like really what he was going for. So this is a very interesting film. I really want to go back and figure out his whole production process, because I think it has a lot to do with the way this film turned out. It's not very theatrical. It doesn't feel like it's got the love and attention. Even the title, I know this is nitpicky, but even the title scenes and the credit scenes, very just strange, and just there's just no pizzazz. I don't know why I want to say pizzazz to that. There's just nothing really special, or not a lot of detail given. And I like to think M. Night has a lot of detail in his films. If we talk about Split, like there's so much detail in those films compared to this. Like I just can't believe the difference in the production value and the writing, and yeah, just lack of details or lack of love and passion put into it. It feels like he read the graphic novel, he thought, wow, that's a really cool concept, and then he just maybe tried to make a film with minimal, I don't want to say like minimal crew, because I don't know that, and I'm like, that's just speculation. You know, a pandemic safe film. It definitely felt it was really wrapped up fast and pushed out, and I would have liked a little bit more detail, a little bit more of a lead in, and if it's awkward, just go all the way and be completely wacky on purpose. Go full Nick Cage. I love how just Nick Cage is just getting grouped into this film. But it was just that awkward in between where I really wasn't sure what I was meant to be thinking or feeling. But I did have emotions, and for that I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10. Surprisingly, I think a lot of people are going to absolutely hate this film. I'm just telling you right now, this for everybody is going to be like a 4 and a 5 if you are okay with watching it. I think my 6 is quite generous, but I have to say I was sitting there and I was quite entertained. But it probably is the film I like the least from M. Night. I should do an M. Night ranking as well. Someone mentioned that to me. So that's something I'm looking at doing in the future. Scare score, I'm going to give it a 4. Not scary at all, just very awkward and squeamish in parts. There's some really icky moments, gore, but again, they cut out a lot of the gore, and a lot of it is just inferred, and so like you even seeing the reactions of people, it's kind of what you don't see that is disgusting in this film. And for originality, I'm gonna give it like a 5. It's very straightforward. I know that like it's a cool concept, but that's kind of what it is. It's just a cool concept. I am very interested in seeing this trailer, because after watching the film and even knowing just that little bit, like the title and then it's on a beach, that's kind of half the film. So I'm very interested to see what they give away on this trailer. So let's check it out now. Future Emma coming in here after I've watched the trailer. I do think there are a lot of spoilers, so if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I would not watch this next section, but thank you so much for watching.
No kids allowed on the beach? What? No.
That's not true! Oh no! Oh no!
We never leave each other. Nothing separates us.
Are we there yet? You said 5 minutes. Technically, it's been more than 5 minutes.
Let's just all start slowing down.
Oh my god, those references in the film are really on the nose and just too much. There's all these little like puns about time at the start, and it's a little bit too much. Especially since the film is called Old itself, it wasn't like a clever reveal later.
Wow, do you believe I found this online?
I guess it's not that secret a beach.
Whoa!
Who would leave this?
From the hotel! They're so rusted!
What's happening?
Found stuff from the hotel in the sand.
This actually is really cool so far. I can see why people got into it, although I am only 44 seconds and there's 2 more minutes. I just hope they don't show too much more, but there's still 2 minutes to go.
What happened to her, Mom?
I don't know.
What happened to her?
The body has decomposed.
How quickly can that happen?
7 years.
But she just died.
That's really interesting that they chose to show that. I actually kind of like that because there's like this whole other aspect that comes into all like around that before and after. So in between those two scenes. So I think that's really cool that they've just used her as an example instead of going into detail with everything else that happens. I kind of like this trailer. I think it's actually a really good representation of what's going on without giving away any of the actual story with any of the other characters.
Where are the kids?
Trent!
Kara!
Come here!
Hey, have you seen my children?
Mom? I'm right here.
They utilize a lot of like close-up shots in this film to try and like hide the aging and like give reveals. But this is a really good point because there's some really interesting camera techniques throughout this that really hide certain aspects and like hold off on these reveals, like what you're seeing right now. And yeah, I like that they're kind of showing that.
Dad, why are you looking at me like that? What's happening to us?
My daughter just turned 6 2 weeks ago.
Mom? Whatever's happening to us is happening very fast.
You have wrinkles. There's something wrong with this beach.
What's happening? Mom! Mom!
Oh, what the heck? That's such a well, I mean, is it a spoiler? But it's showing so much. Like, that was such a creepy aspect. I wish they didn't show you that.
I'm scared! We have to get off
Oh my god! This is awful. They're showing you so much.
If she makes it to the ledge, she might have a chance. Why is she stopping? Why is she stopping? Kara, wake up! Wake up! They had to know what this place does. I don't know! You're lying! Look!
What is that?
A message.
We never leave each other. Nothing separates us.
We're connected to something bigger.
Boo.
Oh no.
This is ridiculous. They show you so much.
We're here for a reason.
No! No, don't show it. Don't show. Oh, thank God. That was like the coolest scene in the movie, so I'm glad they didn't show you. I feel like I gave away so much. If you pay attention to any of the characters that you saw in that trailer going into the film, like, it's just not even worth it. I would have ended that trailer like a minute and a half earlier, so I probably will put a spoiler before showing that because I do think it gives away a lot. Anyway, if you can't see or hear, the rain is pouring down now here since I started recording. So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait for you to see this film and let me know what you think. I was really rooting for M.Night. I am an M.Night fan and I will stand with him. I'll go see any film of his that I can out in the cinema. I think it is a luxury and it's a privilege, but he did me dirty for sure. But I'm really interested to see what you guys think of this. Let me know what you thought of Old, or will you be seeing it at the cinema? I would suggest maybe wait until it's on the small screen. I'm sorry. Rent it when it comes out, but I would not be running out to see this one anytime soon unless you're into super awkward films. If that's your cup of tea, definitely check out this one because it is really awkward and strange, but it's also quite simple. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you here. I do videos every single week talking about horrors, talking about thrillers, giving you a lot to put on your to-watch list and telling you when you should go to the cinema and when you should probably skip it. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me out. And if you want to ever share one of my videos to your community or, you know, people you know who love horror, that would really help me out as well. I'm on the road to 100k. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but if you guys would like to support me and you like what I do, I'd very much appreciate that. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day and I'll talk to you all very soon. Stay spooky. Bye, friends.